through a referral of the other gentleman on the wall right there, called me and said, hey, Steve, listen, I've got a gentleman that I want to look at this. He's visiting Dallas right now for business, and before he gets out of Dallas, which is where I live now, he said, look, can you connect with him just so you can kind of paint a picture of what we're doing? Sure. Now, Lee said something to me in that conversation. He said, listen, I'm telling you right now, if he understands what we're doing, he's going to be a powerhouse in this. Now, how many of us agree? We hear things like that when it comes to projecting what people might do.
Right.
However, I ended up going to the airport to catch him before he jumped on his flight. What was unique about that conversation was the fact that we didn't really talk a whole lot about 5 Links in particular. We talked more about life. We talked more about business. We talked more about aspirations, goals. We talked about family. We talked about things of that nature. And I feel like we connected as brothers within a 5 or 10 minute conversation. So he said to me, he said, listen, I've got a multi-million-dollar real estate deal on the table right now. And he said, and I don't want to play around when it comes to that. However, based on what Lee has shared with me and based on meeting you and some of the things that Lee has shared that you've accomplished in this business, if this is real, I'm willing to maybe put that on the back burner just for a temporary basis to see whether or not this can end up doing what Lee Garrett's been telling me it can do. And I said, well, I'm telling you right now, we've just met for the first time. However, I wouldn't look you in your eyes and tell you something that wasn't real. So I'm telling you, brother to brother, even though we've been brothers for 10 minutes now, this is real. And if you should decide to get involved, I got your back. And he looked at me and said, you know what? I'm going to go home, I'm going to pray on this, I'm going to get back to you or Lee, and I'll make a decision. So then we encouraged him to come out to one of these, a convention, which was in Philadelphia. We said, listen, man, this isn't about, getting your money to get in. That doesn't do us anything, folks. So I said, listen, if you want to see the big picture, which, by the way, all of you have gotten a chance to see because you've seen it on a big scale like this. And I said, you need to come out and see this, man. You don't have to be in the business to come see what we do. So he happened to come, and that was the weekend I think that my wife and I were getting promoted to Platinum SVP. And when they ended up presenting us with the Bentley on the stage and all that, I don't think we had to say a whole lot after that. He ended up making a decision, you know what, I'm in. So from that point, we really, really have grown to become very, very, very close brothers. And there's nothing I wouldn't do. I couldn't love him anymore if my mother birthed him or his mother birthed me. However, we understand that this is business. And we've got a lot of people's lives in our hands right now. So I want to turn it over to him just to kind of give you a perspective of what we are going to do collectively as an organization, because you won't just be joining 5 Links if any of you in this room decide to come on board. You'll be joining a family. And you'll be joining a family that we can honestly say to each of you that if you decide to come on board, we've got your back every step of the way. There's never going to be a time where you'll be able to say, hey, that Carter guy or that Mr. Mondez Hollomon guy said that he or she was going to do this and that, and they aren't here for me. That won't happen. And we've got a track record that proves that, because we understand that you're getting in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So we want to be along that journey with you. So I want to turn it over to Mondez so he can kind of give you some vision of what we're going to be doing as an organization and how we can take this to an entirely different level and help each and every one of you achieve whatever goals and aspirations you might have using this vehicle called 5 Links and this team called the Diamond Network. So with that, give it up for my partner, my right-hand man.
First off, guys, you guys look great. I definitely want to give it back to my apartment because the good Lord has a way of putting things in your life when you don't necessarily know that you need it. And, when you get so high up in corporate and you go down that academia route, which I know a lot of people in the room have done, you start to have like blinders on. And I didn't know I needed it. I definitely didn't need the money, but I didn't know I needed a lifestyle change. And when we started talking about family and all the things that I wanted in life, it became more important to really seek something that can give me that balance. And I really want to share this with you because, I come from a different perspective than most people. And, that perspective is that individual that has gone the academia route, not once, not twice, but 3 times. I got an engineering degree, I got a master's degree, and I got an MBA in finance. I worked in different genres within corporate America. I made well over 6 figures, and I'm not talking just 100,000. I'm talking in the higher end of the 6 figures. Most people would love to have the kind of income that I was able and been blessed to have earned in my highest level in my corporate career. However, it almost killed me in terms of the stress, the wear and tear, just the uncertainty of what the future was going to hold. And so that's why I was pursuing the real estate deal, because I wanted to start to look into becoming an entrepreneur. Where there again, how many guys know people that were in real estate in 2007? Thank the good Lord that somebody called me and stopped me from doing what I was getting ready to do, because I probably would have lost everything considering what happened. Long story short, I got involved after meeting the Carters and after my partner Lee called me and just started building this business part-time. To all of you all that are working that may feel like your time is taxed, listen, anybody that works more than 90 hours in a week, come talk to me and I can show you how to get it done. Because first and foremost, you got to recognize that that's the quickest way to the more. Second of all, you got to understand that you only get but a certain amount of hours in a day. And if you're using all of them to try to earn income, you eventually will expire. Your body will start to correct the things that your mind confuses it that it can do. And so at the end of the day, I started building this thing part-time, and I didn't know how fast or how long it was going to be to get to the where I wanted to be, but it started accelerating. In 22 months, I hit one of the top positions in the company. But the thing I'm most proud of was that I was able to do some things, guys, that I couldn't do prior. Number one, it's a doggone shame that I was working as long as I was working and still had student loans. Who in the room is in that situation? Maybe you can call it priority issues or whatever, but it was real. And the second thing I was able to do is pay off all my mother's credit card debt. But here's the thing I want you all to understand, because most people would be so excited if you had that job paying that income. But in 2009, guess what happened? After being a senior vice president, after replacing that income, that company still tapped me on the shoulder and told me that your services are no longer needed.
Wow.
Now, here's the thing. In my position, I feel very comfortable and confident that I can probably go out and get my resume together and get another job. But my mind started spinning, saying, how many people are not even close to being in a position where they got 3 degrees? Not even been in a position where they got options like that. And it started becoming more significant to me, significant to me to really start to reach back and prove to regular people that this industry works. I started studying the industry and I realized that the real issue in this business is that most people don't know that this is a family environment. And the one thing that I wanted to really realize from Mr. Carter was, were we building a family? Were we building a network? What was the real drive? Because if people are just trying to get people in, this thing won't last. Right. I've done business before. I've done mergers and acquisitions. I understand the culturistic differences between ideas coming together and not meshing. But if you're building something that's family-oriented, nothing can stop it. Does that make sense? Yes. That's the reason why we wanted to bring all of you all together, so that you all understand that you're not just running out here trying to get this thing done on your own. You need to know who you're working with. You need to network with people that got the same ideas and the same values. But also, you need to hear from people that probably have been where you want to be and can give you that perspective to let you know how it looks on the other side. Those of you all that think corporate America is going to give you that lifestyle, let me tell you from having that other side of the perspective, absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, how many guys agree that the rules are changing? Yes. But we have to change with the rules. And I'm so grateful that we've got a level playing field, that none of you all have to go through 8 years of academia, invest over $80,000 in your tuition and school and books to come out and then interview for a job that you're not necessarily willing, you're not guaranteed to get. Is this making sense? And we owe it to ourselves to be bigger and better for the people that are watching us. So I'm so proud to be a part of what we're building, because yes, it's not about how large it is, it's about the significance that we're putting into the lives of thousands upon thousands of people. What does that mean? Sure, we're getting involved with 5 links, but that's just a vehicle. understand what it's going to end up allowing you to do. Imagine being able to live your life the way that you want to live it after putting in 2, 3, 4 years of sweat equity, building something that has leverage. Imagine what that can do, team. But we want to help you all understand that it's bigger than the investment. You got to see past the initial enrollment. You got to see past just getting started and recognize the fact that you're working locked arm, step, and key with people that want and have your best interests in mind. And does everybody follow? Yeah. And so we've got countless examples of success stories that have come through this vehicle, that have come through this model, but we've just gotten started. And we had a collective conversation with all the leaders about what we wanted to do in the Atlanta market. How many guys are from Atlanta or live in Atlanta? This is powerful. Give yourselves a round of applause. Just simply said that, you know what, we're going to really impact the Atlanta market, and we're going to change lives, and we're going to really help educate people on other alternatives. Because residual income, I can tell you from being on the other side of the fence, sure, was 6 figures exciting? You know, was making $20,000 and $30,000 a month exciting when I was working in corporate? Sure, yes, it was. Not as exciting as it is when you don't have to keep doing stuff to get it. Does making sense? So sure, I'm speaking to all of you all that may have other alternatives, but I love the fact that I've traded in the hard work to now being able to bless other people with information that can allow them to make the right decisions to start earning income the proper way. Because I'm a testimony, team. They never taught us how to make money in school. Find me one curriculum that taught you how to make money. I learned by graduating and getting my 401k, talking to the human resource person. And you all know what I'm talking about. You go in and they say put 16.5% in your 401k. They'll match it. And then you keep doing that unconsciously, thinking that you've got retirement. But who knew that one day the market would crash? How many guys were impacted when the market went south? I lost over $300,000 in 3 days following that system. Is this making sense? Yeah. So where's the real risk? If you keep doing what you've been doing, guess what you're going to get? What you've been getting. And so I love the fact that now I'm in control of my own destiny, and the fact that now we can reach back and show and teach and share with other people how to be in control of your own destiny. The blessing is we got a vehicle that everybody can participate in. Is this making sense? Yeah. So we just wanted to help you all understand that it's bigger than where you may see it right now. It's bigger. You don't even know who you're going to run into, that you're going to touch their lives, that this thing is going to absolutely change the fabric of who they are. But understand this. Most people, a lot of times people that just don't know what they don't know think that they have an alternative in terms of, I'm going to go back and get my degrees. Sure, get them. I'm not knocking education. But I'm going to tell you something. Each and every one of my degrees are strategically hanging on my wall collecting dust. Because at the end of those conversations, they only taught me how to gear myself up to work for someone else. And at the end of the day, if you're going to build someone's dream, why not start with yourself? Start with building your own. So that's the fabric of the Diamond Network. That's the fabric of what we're doing. And guys, I'm just so proud that you all took the first step, which I think is always the most challenging step when people just don't have an idea, and that's to get information, which didn't cost you a dime. And most times people don't even take that step to get information that is free. But true business people, listen, we're not saying we'll do everything, but I'm going to take a look. I'm always going to take a look. And I'm just so proud that you all took a look, because now you know what you know. And information is powerful. Does it make sense? Yes. Now it's game time. Now it's action time. And so, you know, that's all I wanted to share. But guys, I'm just excited about where we've been. But I just wanted to give you all the other side of the coin, just to help you understand. I'm not knocking corporate America, but I'm a testimony, team. I'm a testimony that that's not as pretty as they shape it up to make. That's not as alluring, you know, as they put it out there. At any point in time, you get to be comfortable with 90 hours in 1 week. You need to really have a transparency conversation with yourself, because you're only supposed to do 40. So to double that, and then add another 10 to think that you're earning income, when you really do the math, you realize you're making minimum wage anyway. They've gotten us fooled based on the fact that we're conditioned to look at our salary. Does that make sense? Yeah. So if anyone in the room wants to have that conversation with respect to, the academia and how that can be applicable to this industry and why some of the most entrepreneurial, influential people are gravitating towards our company, have the conversation with me. Listen, I'm not the only person that's in the room that's like that. You got my partner who went to Wharton. It doesn't get any better than that. Listen, we're hungry and we're tired of being pimped. Yeah. Is this making sense? I know we've got some things that we're going to talk about here in a second, but actually I'm going to grab one so we can